Absolutely. So, should we talk about that one first? Hello, I am Russell Tovey and I am an art geek. To be surrounded by art just allows me to kind of be more enthusiastic for the world and allows me to access the ability to be more creative in everything I do. And that can change you, like molecularly. It's like I need to be around art. You don't understand your fellow man unless you see them in culture, unless you see them in art. Fundamentally, it's so important that everybody, however diverse, is represented in art. Because as soon as you put someone on a gallery wall, then they exist and you can't deny who they are. For me, auction houses have really been fascinating as a collector. And what's so brilliant about the preview sales is that there is no hierarchy. You're not really being told what's more important than everything else. And you have an opportunity to acquire it if you have the budget. But if you don't, you're still able to see these works that you may never see again. I find that really exciting.
You're very fond of the YBA generation. This is an early spot painting by Damien Hirst, 1996, you said?
Yes.
First time I'm seeing it, actually, it just arrived. Are you fond of these spot paintings?
This was like my routine, seeing the spot paintings and seeing, flock divided, seeing the formaldehyde shark.
Which was a defining moment for you, no?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, totally. I got first interested in art, I guess, when I was a kid. It's cartoons. I think that was my first route in. And then I sort of discovered in my early teens pop art. Then, when I was at college at 16, was when I discovered the YBAs. Because before that, I was, my heroes were Warhol, Lichtenstein, and Hering, and they'd all passed. But now you could be part of something where a conversation was continuing, and you can follow that. Prior to getting the first serious piece of art for me, I was collecting editions. It was around the Queen's Jubilee, and I walked around East London, and then we ended up going down Fournier Street, where Tracey Emin lives, where Gilbert and George lives. I didn't know that at the time, and there was a street party that was being cleaned up, and who was there sweeping the street? It was Tracey Emin. So then I said to my parents, my 21st, I want this edition. And I think my mum and dad were like, what do you want? Do you want a watch? Do you want like a piece of jewellery? And I was like, no, I want this drawing called Dog Brains by Tracey Emin. I think my parents were like, okay, if that's what you want for your 21st, then we get it. And then I had this edition, which I still got, and I absolutely love because it's part of my journey. I did a play called The History Boys at the National Theatre, and we went around the world with it. And we shot the movie with it. And for the movie, we got paid a bit better than we did for doing the play. I contacted the White Cube Gallery, and I said I'd like to see a selection of Tracey Emin monoprints. And I acquired a drawing from the money that I made from the movie, and suddenly it was like, oh, I'm an art collector. So many acquisitions in my collection are because I did that job and I got paid for doing that thing, and I got that, and they have an autobiographical feeling for me. They're vessels of emotion for me. As a collector, I know what I'm drawn to. So I'm drawn to figurative works. As an actor, I love the face, I love the body, I love features. So I co-host a podcast called Talk Art.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm Russell Tovey.
Which I do with one of my best mates, Robert Diamond.
And I'm Robert Diamond.
And this is Talk Art.
Welcome to Talk Art.
It comes from a place of me and him being non-academic, non-elitist, non-exclusive. We're all inclusive. It's all about arts for everyone. It's always been the thing. And Wolfgang has been on the show, and I talked about his photograph, and I said to him, it's like, queer people will see this, gay men will see this, and they recognise that, but other people will miss it. And he went, no. Lots of my girlfriends have seen this, and they recognise this. I was like, oh yeah. He said it's about the universal touch, and even more so now, the tenderness and nurturing of relationships and touch. And we're in a world now where we're being denied touch and intimacy and connection on that level. I also love geometric abstraction because of shapes and colours and hard edge.
In front of you we have a wonderful little gem by Howard Hodgkin from 1992. So it's his later body of work. I'm very fond of him, and I actually discovered his world when we sold his collection 3-4 years ago after his passing away.
There's something action painting about them, that he's harnessing that energy through the brushstroke, and I'm always responding to abstraction when you have that, because that feels like the artist is manifesting emotion into paint. When I started becoming a collector, I think I always never trusted my own taste because I was self-taught with art. But as I've got older, I've realised that's what I like, that's what I'm drawn to, so I'm going to trust that. I'm going to appreciate that voice, that taste of mine, because it's mine, it's personal to me. I think Gilbert and George are so brilliant. They're so unique in the fact that they just put work out there that is so visceral and shocking, but it's so funny. There is a nostalgia for Gavin Turk for me, because he was, in my formative years of really getting into contemporary art, was one of the, the YBA players. Gavin Turk has been a guest, one of the early guests actually on Talk Art, which was like a moment where I pinched myself, like who would have thought when I was 16 and I was looking at this guy's work that he would be there talking to me about it. Niki de Saint-Phalle was a French-American artist, grew up in France, and she was an outsider artist. She was self-taught, and she created these figures. They are just such iconic, bombastic, fuck you sort of like sculptures, and they are everywhere, all over the world. The Colville Calling All Knitters campaign really appeals to me, because there's something very collective about it. It's something about engaging people all over the world in creativity. They sent out at the beginning of lockdown a request for the Called All Knitters and said, you can each design a very unique 20 centimetre by 20 centimetre square. And people wanted them to share it on Instagram, and then it grew so much that they started to get like patches from all over the world with all these letters saying how moved people were that this was set up. And that, for me, feels like a really important message. And I'm hoping that, when we all come out of this and we're in the Renaissance, that there is such a rise in the importance and the respect of craft. Having the privilege of living with art is unlike anything else, because I walk around my house like it's a gallery. Alan Bennett wants to write above every doorway of a gallery, you haven't got to like everything. And you might go and you see 1,000 things and you like nothing, that's completely fine, but there will be one thing that you suddenly double take on, and that double take will change you. And that is because art can make your life better.
Oh, that's a good line.
Yeah. Art can make your life better.